And the question that should be asked is, oh, she was spooked. Did you have anything to do with her being spooked and wanting to get out of that vehicle?
I just can't imagine this is, anything happening right now. I just can barely function without knowing where my daughter is.
Tonight, huge developments in the case of that missing soldier. Beautiful young woman. Two men connected to the bar where Private First Class Kelli Bordeaux was last seen have now been arrested. Jane Velez Mitchell back with you live from New York City. Kelli vanished more than a week ago from a bar near Fort Bragg, North Carolina. She was there karaoke and having a good time Friday night when she left the bar with the man you're about to see at about 1:20 Saturday morning. There he is. His name is Nicholas Holbert. He's a barkeep there. What Kelli may not have known is he has a criminal record as a sex offender. This past Friday, he was picked up by police for failing to register as a sex offender in Cumberland County. Now, back in 2003, he was convicted of indecent liberties with a 5-year-old and felony child abuse with serious bodily injury. Nicholas Holbert living in a lean-to behind this, the Froggy Bottoms bar where Kelli was last seen. Police have named him a person of information in her disappearance. I don't know exactly what that means. We'll talk about that in a second. But he claims he just gave her a ride and dropped her off. Listen to him.
The investigator told me that they found a white plastic bag with khaki shorts and a T-shirt in there with blood on it. And he asked me, he asked me if it was going to come back as mine. I told him no.
Did you kill her?
I did not.
Did you have anything to do with her disappearance?
I have nothing to do with it. I picked her up and took her home that night. That's it.
All right, that guy right now in jail for not registering as a sex offender. He says he dropped her off at the entrance of her apartment complex. Seen here, the big question is, did she then walk in her front door? What you're seeing is new video that we just shot a little while ago, the actual route that she was supposed to take. But the last anybody really saw of her was at the bar leaving. Just yesterday, police also arrested the owner of that bar, the Froggy Bottoms bar. There he is, being led out of the bar by police in handcuffs. His name, Stephen Cantrell. His crimes, he allegedly owes $400,000 in child support payments to several women, and he failed to appear in court for a 2001 DWI charge. Straight out to my very special guest, Matt Henson, the brother of missing soldier Kelli Bordeaux. Matt, thank you for being here. I know this is hellish for you, and I just want you to know we're doing everything we can to help find your sister. We want to get the word out. We want to get her face out, possibly to jog somebody's memory. You're in North Carolina right now, and I understand you're actually in front of your sister's apartment. First of all, tell me, what was your reaction to the news that the last person to see Kelli before she vanished is a sex offender who didn't register, meaning essentially he had been living in hiding and he has now been arrested?
Very unsettling, to say the least. You know, for that to be the last person to see her with that kind of a background, it really just leaves a bad feeling in your stomach, you know.
I'm sure. You're down there. What have you been able to ascertain? Have police talked to you? Have they said anything? I mean, we've had so many questions like, was her cell phone recovered, her purse? Presumably she didn't use her car that night. She got a ride to the Froggy Bottoms and back from. What do you know?
The cops have kept us really well informed. You know, I speak to them every day, you know, every morning. The only problem really has been that we just haven't found anything, you know, since this all began. We really just don't have anything to go on.
Did they find her cell phone?
No, ma'am.
They did not find her cell phone. And that's significant because...
We haven't found a shred of anything.
That's significant because according to the guy, Nicholas Holbert, he claims that she was texting a lot that evening. And also, she purportedly sent a text saying, got home safely, which, Matt, your mom doesn't believe was sent by Kelli. So you've been in her apartment. Was there any signs in her apartment of any kind of struggle, or was everything just pretty much normal?
No, it looked exactly as if you would left it and would expect to come back a few hours later. I mean, she had homework sitting out. You know, I mean, it's exactly, you know, just like if you or me were to leave our house and come back and, you know. There was definitely no struggle. I really honestly don't think that, well, I mean, she never made it back to the apartment, and then nobody thinks that the last text message that came from her phone is from her.
And can I ask you, to whom was that text sent?
A friend of hers down in Florida.
Huh, that's interesting. Now, let's play again the sex offender, possibly the last person to see Kelli. Here's what happened. According to him, this is his claim the night she vanished. Listen to this.
Around 1:30, she told me, she's like, I'm tired, I want to go home. I said, okay, so we got in the car, and as soon as I pulled into Meadowbrook, she said, you can stop right here and let me out, I'll walk.
All right, well, a lot of questions there, Matt. Why would she walk? The neighborhood around Fort Bragg is, by all accounts, dangerous, and that's no secret. There was, in fact, an unsolved rape case in the area from just weeks ago. In fact, you could look at how close the bar was to that alleged rape, less than a quarter mile away. Your thoughts on that? I mean, your sister is married. I know that the husband was not there. Was he in town that night? Because your mom says he was in Florida, but...
Right, he was actually in Florida visiting, his side of, his family, and then also buying a vehicle.
I want to bring in...
I mean, the family we support Mike 100%. We really do.
Yeah, if he's in Florida, he has nothing to do with this. I have two experts here, so very quickly, Steve Moore, former FBI agent. What do you make of these two men being arrested on unrelated charges, but they're connected to this bar where she was last seen?
Well, that's obviously, I believe, that the police don't want these guys to go anywhere, especially Hobart. I think they've got something that they want to investigate. They're afraid they're going to leave. They want them where they can put their hands on them at any given time. It's very telling that this guy's still in jail over a non-registration thing. Cantrell, I'm just not sure. Maybe they just found something that they couldn't ignore. But again, it seems a lot to put him in custody, too. There's something here that they're not telling us about these two guys.
All right, John Lieberman, investigative reporter.
Yeah, this is called jamming these guys up. I mean, police were looking for a reason to keep these two guys behind bars because they clearly believe that they have answers that they're not being forthcoming with. You said, what is a person of information? Police strongly believe that both of these men have information that they're not sharing. And just like Steve just said, I mean, to be put in jail for this long for a failure to register your new address is almost unheard of.
Okay, police did focus their attention on a pond about 8 miles away from the Froggy Bottoms bar. They searched for 2 days, a stop without success. Matt, what are they doing to search for your sister right now?
Really, it's a really good thing between the police, the Army, volunteers. I mean, there's really a lot of resources being poured into finding her, so I'm really thankful for that.
Did she have any enemies?
I mean,
Did
helicopters,
she have any problems?
dogs, boats, everything.
Did she have any problems with anybody, fight with anybody? Did you know about this guy that she had apparently met playing pool? You meet people socially. Did you hear anything about this Nicholas Holbert?
I didn't know anything about him until the incident happened. I didn't know anything about him. And she's never really had any kind of enemies, I mean, she's pretty much happy-go-lucky kind of person.
And very petite, very beautiful, leaving a bar at 1:20 in the morning in a very dangerous area with a convicted sex offender. It is chilling, Matt, and I have to say our hearts go out to you. We will do everything we can to keep this story alive. And you're telling us police are saying nothing, absolutely nothing in terms of they didn't find her cell phone, they haven't found her purse. Is her purse missing with her ID and all that?
She wouldn't have been carrying her purse.
So her purse
on her.
Okay, her purse was at home.
Right.
So it's the cell phone that's missing. And did they tell you anything about the pings?
If we could find the cell phone, I think that would really be a big key, to really helping make some progress in the case to find her.
Yeah, and I know that the pings were last near the bar. Matt, again, stay strong. We're rooting for you. We're rooting for your sister. We pray that she is found.